Good afternoon. Welcome to Tribune News on Q, your go-to afternoon news source, only here at Daily Tribune. We're live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune page on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For today's headlines. Malacanang Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro dismissed the testimonies of the 18 so-called ex-Marines as heroes' testimonies as basura. Department of Public Works and Highways Information Management Service Director Ralph Kawalig told the court the agency's system keeps records of individuals who enter specific projects into its database. Some employees were barred from entering the Senate premises on Wednesday as the chamber enforces heightened security measures amid alleged possible threats against it. The Department of Transportation is pushing to resume commercial flights at General Santos Airport within a week after a magnitude 7.8 earthquake damaged parts of the facility. The Department of Justice ordered the National Bureau of Investigation to conduct a full-scale investigation into the drowning deaths of Ateneo men's basketball players Rene Baterbonia and Divine Adili in Dipakula, Aurora. Political analyst attorney Edward Gico has criticized the handling of the 18 ex-Marines controversy, saying inconsistent statements and retracted claims have undermined the group's credibility and confused the public. Philippine Airlines is set to join the One World Alliance, giving the country's flag carrier access to one of the world's largest airline networks and marking a major milestone as it celebrates its 85th year. Philippine Sports Commission Chairman Patrick Pato Gregorio urged Alas Pilipinas to stay locked in on the Asian Volleyball Confederation Women's Cup campaign. Actress Clea Pineda is considering legal action after receiving a disturbing threat on social media, saying the incident crossed the line that should never be normalized. Today is 10 June 2026, Wednesday, and I'm Louisse Kalingag, bringing you today's top stories. Let's get started. Malacanang Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro dismissed the testimonies of the 18 so-called ex-Marines as heroes' testimonies as basura. Castro pointed to several inconsistencies in the affidavit of the 18, including the removal of Senator Loren Legarda's name due to an alleged error and the inclusion of Representative Laila de Lima in the list of officials who supposedly received luggage filled with cash even though she was not the lawmaker at the time. These kinds of changing statements will not withstand careful court scrutiny, Castro said. Testifying for the prosecution, Department of Public Works and Highways Information Management Service Director Calv Kawaling told the court agency system keeps records of individuals who enter specific projects into its database. Mulit pala. Prosecution Department of Public Works and Highways Information Management Service Director Calv Kawaling told the court's agency system keeps records of individuals who enter specific projects into its database. Kawaling explained that the system also tracks any modifications made to previously uploaded information. Some employees were barred from entering the Senate premises on Wednesday as the chamber enforces heightened security measures amid alleged possible threats against it. Among those stopped by the Senate security outside the gate were staff members of Senator Loren Legarda and Francis Kiko Pangilinan. According to one of the security personnel, they have been advised that Legarda would come to the Senate. Meanwhile, a visitor who claimed to be seeking financial assistance from the office of Senator Robin Padilla also failed to get to the Senate. A temporary no-visitor policy was clearly stated in a memorandum issued on Tuesday by Gatchalian. The Department of Transportation is pushing to resume commercial flights at General Santos Airport within a week after a magnitude 7.8 earthquake damaged parts of the facility. Acting Transportation Secretary Giovanni Lopez said Tuesday he ordered the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines to fast-track repairs to the airport's passenger terminal building while ensuring that all structures are safe for passengers and employees. Lopez observed damage and collapsed ceiling sections, cracks in terminal walls, broken glass in the control tower, and issues affecting the airport's electrical systems. The Department of Justice ordered the National Bureau of Investigation to conduct a full-scale investigation into the drowning deaths of Ateneo men's basketball players Rene Barterbonia and Divine Adili in Dipakulaw, Aurora. In a statement Wednesday, the DOJ said the NBI Central Office has been directed to create a special task force to carry out a thorough, comprehensive, and impartial probe into the circumstances surrounding the tragic incident. The investigation aims to establish all relevant facts and determine whether any individual or group may be held liable in connection with the deaths of the two student athletes. Political analyst attorney Edward Chico has criticized the handling of the so-called 18 ex-Marines controversy, describing it as sloppy due to inconsistencies in the group's public statements. Speaking on Daily Tribune's Usapang OFW, Chico said the individuals involved should have presented all relevant information from the outset to avoid confusion and questions about their credibility. He pointed to changes in their accounts, including the retraction of an earlier claim that Senator Loren Legarda was among those who allegedly received a suitcase of cash. Chico said such inconsistencies have made it more difficult for the public to fully understand the allegations surrounding the controversy.
Testigo ko na alam niya yung nangyari, minsan nga nagkakamali siya. Pangalawa, hindi naman pwedeng sabihin automatic na chismoso sila, di ba? Alam mo kung sino may mali din dito? Eto sa akin lang ha. Alam naman natin may kulay na yan, di ba? Medyo sloppy rin yung work kasi nila Attorney Baligon. Medyo sloppy rin yung work nila Mike Defensor. Even si Senator Marcoleta, nung tinatanong nila itong mga 18 Marines. Alam mo kasi, ako matagal na akong abogado. Pagka ikaw ay merong isang testigo, ililay down mo muna yung predicate mo at saka yung basis mo para maintindihan ng tao yung konteksto at makapag-testify siya sa kung anong gusto niyang i-testify about. Di ba, dapat ito, tanungin mo muna yung isang militar, halimbawa, gaano ka nakatagal dito, bakit ka napasok, nung napasok ka, anong unang trabaho mo, anong relasyon mo kay Zaldico, bakit ka napunta sa Maleta, bago yon anong ginagawa mo. Dapat dinidetalye mo lahat yon, hindi ba? Hanggang sa makarating ka doon sa ginagawa, na-establish mo ngayon yung context. Ang nangyari kasi sa kanila, dahil nga 18 ito magulo, parang sloppy yung work, parang allegations one after the other, nalilito na tayo kung saan ang punot dulo. Tapos nung nabigyan ng pagkakataon sila Marcoleta na hawakan sila at sila makapag-testify doon sa alleged Blue Ribbon Committee nila, hindi pa nila naipasa ng maayos, hindi ba? So ang nangyayari, kawawa itong 18 Marines because
Philippine Airlines is set to join the One World Alliance, giving the country's flag carrier access to one of the world's largest airline networks and marking a major milestone as it celebrates its 85th year. The invitation was formally announced during the International Air Transport Association annual general meeting in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Once admitted, PAL will become the 16th member of the alliance and only the second full member airline based in Southeast Asia. Membership will connect PAL to a network of nearly 1,000 destinations across more than 170 countries and territories, expanding travel options for passengers and strengthening the Philippines' role as a regional aviation hub. Philippine stocks closed nearly flat, with the benchmark PSCI edging down 2.84 points or 0.5% to 5,942.87. The broader all shares index fell 16.18 points or 0.49% to 3,309.10, reflecting mixed sector performance. Financial and services stocks provided support, gaining 0.86% and 0.91% respectively. However, declines in industrial holding firms and property shares swayed on sentiment, with holding firms posting the largest drop among major sectors at 2.30%. Mining and oil stocks led losses, plunging 5.17% to 15,786.51, offsetting gains in financial and services counters and keeping the broader market in a negative territory. Philippine Sports Commission Chairman Patrick Pato Gregorio urged Alas Pilipinas to stay locked in on the Asian Volleyball Confederation Women's Cup campaign and shut out the turmoil in the National Federation and set aside club loyalties. Alas Pilipinas routed Kyrgyzstan 25-9, 25-11, 25-17 earlier on Monday to improve the 2-1 one-loss in pool play, then capped the evening with the dinner where Gregorio assured the national team that the PSC remains committed to supporting athletes and that the crisis in the Philippine National Volleyball Federation. Actress Clea Pineda is considering legal action after receiving a disturbing threat on social media, saying the incident crossed the line that should never be normalized. While accustomed to criticism as a public figure, Pineda said threats of violence are fundamentally different and should never be dismissed as jokes. The actress explained that she rarely responds to online attacks but felt compelled to speak out this time. Katribu, did you know on June 10, 1923, Neptali Alvaro Gonzalez Sr. was a towering figure in the Philippine politics, law, and education. Known for his intellect, compassion, and unwavering commitment to public service, Gonzalez rose from the humble beginnings to become one of the nation's most respected statesmen. A clip by content creator Charut has gone viral, garnering more than 7 million views. In the video, she reenacts being told to send a text message once she gets home. The twist? Instead of texting on her smartphone, she plays text, a popular Filipino street game. That's all for now. Join us again at 4:30 p.m. still here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune page on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. Once again, I'm Louise Kalingag, and this has been Tribune News on Q.